When I first noticed the changes in my wife's behavior, I brushed them off as stress from work or just mood swings. She was dressing better, staying out later, and constantly glued to her phone. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. One evening, she left her phone unattended on the couch, and a message popped up. My heart stopped. It was from a man, not just any man, someone wealthy, well-connected, and very much married. I felt my world crumble in that moment. The woman I trusted with everything was betraying me, and worse, she was doing it with someone who had just as much to lose. Rage filled me, but instead of confronting her immediately, I decided to gather proof. Over the next few weeks, I quietly documented her late nights, her lies about girls' dinners, and even managed to capture photos of them together. Each piece of evidence was like a dagger, but I needed it for what I was about to do. One night, when she said she was going to meet her colleague, I followed her. My suspicions turned to certainty when I saw her walk into a hotel with him. I snapped pictures of them entering the lobby together. As much as I wanted to storm in and tear everything apart, I held back. I knew timing was everything. The next morning, I did something bold. I reached out to his wife. I found her on social media and sent her a message. At first, she didn't believe me. She thought I was some bitter husband trying to stir trouble. But when I sent her the photos and screenshots, her silence told me everything. After a while, she wrote back, "We need to talk." We met at a cafe a few days later. She was elegant, calm, and clearly in pain but handling it with remarkable strength. Together, we shared stories of how our spouses had been lying to us. Strangely enough, it was comforting to know I wasn't alone. By the end of that meeting, we made a pact, not just to expose them, but to teach them a lesson they would never forget. We decided to play along as if we knew nothing. For weeks, both our partners continued their little affair while we planned. The other wife, let's call her Sarah, invited me to a charity gala her husband was attending. My wife claimed she had a business trip the same weekend. Perfect. At the event, everything unfolded like a movie. Sarah and I arrived together, acting completely natural. Halfway through the evening, her husband and my wife walked in, hand in hand, clearly thinking they were safe from prying eyes. When they saw us standing there together, their faces drained of color. The silence that fell around them was deafening. Guests started whispering, and phones were discreetly lifted to record. Sarah raised her glass and calmly said, "To loyalty, something neither of you seem to understand." The entire room erupted in murmurs as my wife stammered, trying to come up with excuses. I pulled out my phone and showed the gathered guests some of the very photos I had collected. "This," I said loudly, "is what they've been doing behind their families' backs." The humiliation was complete. They were caught not only by us, but by everyone who mattered in their social circle. My wife begged me to step outside, but I refused. I told her in front of everyone that our marriage was over. Sarah, with equal poise, announced she would be filing for divorce the very next day. Their reputations were shattered, and there was no way to fix it. After that night, everything changed. My wife tried to plead for forgiveness, claiming it was just a mistake, but I had seen enough. I packed her belongings and told her to leave. Sarah did the same with her husband. What they thought was a secret romance turned into their public downfall. Ironically, Sarah and I remained in touch. Our shared pain became a strange bond. We didn't rush into anything, but we supported each other through the divorce process. Every time I thought about what had happened, I realized karma had found its way. My wife lost everything, her comfort, her reputation, and even the wealthy man who quickly abandoned her once the scandal spread. As for me, I regained my dignity by not lowering myself to rage but by exposing the truth strategically. Looking back, I don't regret the way it unfolded. They thought they were untouchable, but in the end, their arrogance destroyed them. And the sweetest part? They never saw it coming. Now, whenever I think about betrayal, I don't just see pain. I see the power of standing tall, of fighting back with patience and intelligence. My wife cheated with a rich married man, but his wife and I made sure they paid the price together.